Hello everyone, happy Friday. So exciting that it's Friday. Today we're talking about something pretty exciting, and I think that, just gives us another thing to look forward to next year. But I'll just wait a few minutes to see if anyone joins us, and then we can get started with the conversation. I'm thinking we'll start at 12:04, so we'll just see if anyone joins. Yeah. Okay, just wait a few minutes. How's everyone's Friday been? We're so close. We're so close to the weekend and holidays and resting. I hope everyone is able to rest. Okay. So we can go ahead and get started. My name is Ibukun. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm a social media coordinator at Whitman-Walker. And today we're actually going to be talking about a kind of like, it's not exactly breaking news because it's been in the works for the past year, but I do think we're getting close to the end, hopefully, so I wanted us to talk about it today. So we're going to be talking about like the injectable PrEP medication that's being formulated right now, and hopefully it will be released in the next year for mass use, and it's accessible to everyone. So during the past few months, our community health department has expanded its efforts to the social media platform. So we've talked about, HIV, STI, sexual health practices. You've seen us talk about access to care, social determinants of health, as well as public health interventions, especially now that, we've been in this pandemic for about 2 years now. So we've definitely talked about a bunch of different topics on this platform, and I hope that in the next year we're also able to expand our topics and really just, dive deeper. So this past year has been an exciting time in the world of HIV prevention. In May 2020, there was a major clinical trial that found the injections of long-acting Cabotegravir, which is an antiviral medication, to be highly successful at preventing HIV when it's taken as a form of pre-exposure prophylaxis, which is what PrEP stands for. So this injectable form of PrEP is given every 8 weeks, as opposed to taking the daily pill of either Truvada or Descovy. And after the trials, it was found that individuals that took the injectable PrEP had 69% fewer new cases of HIV than when they were taking the daily pill Descovy or Truvada. So now you may be wondering, how is it possible that, this injectable PrEP option has a superior protective effect than the daily pill, which also has an effectiveness rate of 99% when taken correctly. So I want us to talk a little bit more about the two studies that were used to analyze the effectiveness rate of the injectable PrEP versus, the typical oral daily pill that is available right now. So there were two studies, and there are two parallel studies. So it was HPTN 083 and HPTN 084. The NDA was granted upon review of two phase 2B, 3 double-blind studies, HPTN 083 and HPTN 084, that evaluated the safety and efficacy of the long-acting injectable PrEP option versus, Truvada, which is like the daily oral pill that is available right now. So study HPTN 083 looked at 4,566 men who have sex with men, MSM, and transgender women who have sex with men. while the other study, HBTN-084, looked at 3,223 cisgender women who were at increased risk of HIV infection. So both studies, like I mentioned before, so this is a 2-phase double-blind study, which means that both studies were randomly assigned participants at 2 different groups. So half of the group, they were given a placebo injection and daily Truvada, while the other half received the long-acting injectable Cabotegravir and a daily placebo pill. And both groups didn't know what they were getting. So this is why it was a double blind. So both the people who were giving them the medication, like the providers, as well as the patients who were getting the medication, they didn't know what they were receiving, which helps prevent any, bias or any kind of like, if you know what you're getting, you might think you're actually being treated for something else versus not. So that was prevented by making it a double blind study. And basically after this study was done, the results suggested that if a group of men who have sex with men and trans women who have sex with men were prescribed the injectable PrEP every 8 weeks, they will end up with an estimated 69% lower HIV acquisition rate than a similar group that is strictly provided daily Truvada. And the results also suggested that for cisgender women that, were prescribed the injectable PrEP every 8 weeks, they will end up with an estimated 89% lower HIV acquisition rate. So there were common side effects found for at least 1% of the test subjects at the injection site, which was like they would have like a reaction at the injection site, or had diarrhea, headache, sleep disorders, fatigue, dizziness, nausea, and abdominal pain. So I just want to note those side effects were found in 1% of the subjects. Additionally, some participants in the HPTN-083 study, which is the one that included the men who have sex with men, as well as transgender women who have sex with men, they experienced pyrexia and flatulence. And some participants in the HPTN-084, which is the study that looked at cisgender women, experienced vomiting, myalgia, and rash. But once again, these side effects were only found in 1% of the participants. So basically what happened afterwards is both trials were halted early by the data safety monitoring boards because the initial results ended up showing that the long-acting Cabotegravir was superior to daily oral Truvada pill, which means that they were able to stop it because they already proved that it works and that it's a viable mode of prevention. So although both the daily pill, Truvada and Descovy, and the injectable PrEP options are both effective, the main difference is the ability of the individual to adhere to the prescription. So basically, because currently we only have, a daily oral pill, there's tendency for people who are prescribed this pill to not be consistent with their use of the oral pill. So having an injectable PrEP option allows an individual to have more control over, their bodies and kind of are able to, they would have a higher adherence because it's, rather than having to remember one pill every day, you just need to go get a shot every 8 weeks. So the benefit of the injectable PrEP pill is that it will offer a higher adherence rate, which would lead to greater effectiveness rates. So this is really exciting news to know that an additional HIV prevention tool is currently in the works. So the FDA has set a target approval date of January 24th, 2022. And if approved, this injectable PrEP option will be the first long-acting therapy for HIV prevention. And we know that currently fewer than 25% of individuals that would benefit from PrEP are currently taking PrEP, which points to the increased need for additional HIV prevention options. Also, each year, an estimated 1.7 million people are newly diagnosed with HIV. So with an increased prevention method that is now going to be available for people hopefully in 2022, the hope of reducing the numbers of newly diagnosed people with HIV will be more attainable. So I just want to remind us that currently there's a possible injectable PrEP option that hopefully will be available to the public use starting January 24th. But I still don't want us to forget that there's still the oral pill that is still effective, and it's Truvada and Descovy. And we do offer that here at Whitman-Walker. You just give us a call at 202-797-4439, and we can set up an appointment, and we can talk to you about it and see if you are or not. We can see if we can get you on PrEP. So to wrap us up, I just want to make a reminder that COVID-19 is still very much around. Right now, over 7.5 million people were hospitalized with COVID, and the death toll is nearly 921,000 people. It's really up to us to slow the spread of the virus, so please remember to wear your mask, social distance, wash your hands, stay home if you're feeling sick, get tested frequently, and encourage the other people around you to do the same. Still want to remind you that we still offer the COVID vaccine here at Whitman-Walker. Give us a call at 202-207-2480 if you would like to make an appointment. If you do not want to get vaccinated, we still urge you to please follow those CDC guidelines. You can be asymptomatic and still have COVID-19, and you might not know that you're spreading it. So please wear your mask, wash your hands, social distance. With the holidays coming up, try to minimize large gatherings. There's still the opportunity to do virtual parties. You can do virtual get-togethers with your family. And if you do still choose to go home, get tested before you go home, get tested while you're at home, and get tested before you return back to your new space. But it was really nice getting to talk to you guys today about, this injectable PrEP option. And I really hope that next year we'll have another time to talk about it, and hopefully it gets approved. And finally, just want to remind everyone to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Whitman-Walker. And please check out our website at whitman-walker.org for the most up-to-date information. Love talking to you guys, and I will see you next week. Bye.